Another tough night.
Yeah, it was a tough night. We did some good things early on, created some chances. We unfortunately just couldn't get a couple more wickets for our efforts, and we hung in, and then unfortunately just lost our shape in the back end, the last 4 to 5 overs. But it's a good wicket, and I think if we'd just been able to hold our nerve and execute a bit better, a 210, 220 would have been in our grasp. But we just got a little bit shell-shocked, and that flowed through into the early parts of our batting as well. Hi.
What did you make of what RCB did right while batting? Because it did look at the start as if this was the 250 pitch or a 250 outfield, but they sort of took the bowling on, and what did you make of the strategy, and what do you think they did right? Was it just looking for sixes, or did they just wait a little bit more, recalibrate their batting?
No, I think they worked their way into a good position. Again, it could have gone our way a little bit more in the first half a dozen, 7 or 8 overs with a few catches and nicks here and there, but we actually held the game pretty well. The real turning point was the Tim David and that last part, the acceleration through the last sort of 5 overs. If you look at the score, we were ahead of them up till about 5 overs to go, and then they just went like a rocket. So that's really where the game was lost for us. Up until that point, I thought it was a relatively even contest.
Hi, Coach. You spoke about being shell-shocked. It's happened the last 3 games where the bowling has not clicked. Today, 78 runs were scored in the last 4 overs. That's the most CSK has ever conceded in IPL.
Great.
Where do you think, according to you, the assessment of the death bowling, and where has it gone wrong?
Well, today we just didn't execute. It's been different. I thought we were a bit passive in the last game throughout the innings. The fast bowlers, in particular, just searching a little bit. It was much better for the first half today, but then just the execution under pressure. And against a hitter like Tim David, who was very destructive, you've got to be absolutely spot on. And once we sort of fell behind and he got his rhythm, and there's a no ball in there as well. So let's not forget that there's probably 40 runs in there. So there's really small margins, and with a good hitter like David, we've got to be more exact than that. So we missed where we needed to be, and we got hurt in the hardest of fashions.
Stephen.
Yeah.
Some of your younger players like Ayush Mahmood, last month he had a 70, and this match he got up pretty early. So how important it is from the coach's point of view to be patient with them, to give enough time for them to perform and match their potential with performance?
Yeah, it's a good balance, isn't it? You can see the talent, but you're going to accept there are going to be mistakes, and to a degree that is a little bit of what this side is going to be. There's some huge talent, and going forward it's going to be a really good core of Indian players, batters in particular, but we're going to get a little bit of inconsistency from some of the young players, but you're also going to get some brilliance, and that's almost the IPL at this point. It's a high octane pace in which batters are going, so there are going to be some speed wobbles, but he's got a pretty good mentor there with Mike Hussey, who is a pretty good batting coach and understanding of the game. So it's trying to marry that skill with a bit of game sense, and that does take time, but we'll be trying to get as much of that into these young players as possible, but without stifling their natural ability.
I just wonder if you agree that there is something called trying too hard. If that is the case, then something like a Samson with all the hype around him. Is he sort of caught up in that whole thing, do you think?
Yeah, he's okay. It's difficult when you've been at a franchise for some time, and even though he probably feels pretty comfortable, there's still an element of belonging, and he's going through the process of connecting with this team, and the team has got 5 or 6 changes, so it's not like it's a set team. So there's a little bit of work to be done off the field that we're doing just to make the bonds a bit tighter. But he's fine. He's fitted in really well. He's desperate for some runs and to contribute, along with Rutu, they're the senior players. But again, T20 can happen. We saw it with his World Cup, what can happen, and when a batter gets on a run, he is one guy that can be very dangerous. So there'll be nothing but support and confidence given from us to Sanju as he forges his path in yellow. Bravo.
Yeah, sure.
It was a few years. Yep.
Yeah, because they were with you.
Yeah.
The way in which the players are playing now, it has clearly visible that all the matches are becoming batting friendly. No bowlers are doing good bat. They're bowling well, but they're not getting those appreciation which needed.
Yeah. Look, the three you talked to are all world-class players, so that you're always going to say you have world-class players on your side, but we've moved to a point where we've got a young group trying to create a core moving forward. We've got players who aren't quite at their best, and you talk about trying too hard. Sometimes the effort is a little bit too desperate, so we've got to work our way into a better game rhythm. And for the bowlers in particular, it is tough. It's incredibly tough. So the margins for error are very small. We started our way to 210, where 210's been winning scores in the past. So the bar has been lifted with the aggression of the batting, and the bowlers are scrambling. It's not just us. Bowling teams are scrambling to find a little bit of assistance in the pitch, but also find methods to shut these hitters down. So it's a tough contest for bowlers. Batters are certainly dominating with the rules we've got.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.